Well, people, it occurred at last. Dexter was mid-kill when Batista caught up to him. Dexter, Resurrection Season 1 Episode 8 had me chewing on my fingernails from beginning to end, and I'm not sure how I'm still able to do that. Indeed, I was repeatedly shouting at my screen. Why didn't you check the car sooner, Dexter? Why isn't the gag on, Dexter? Why are you bringing Harrison into this again, Dexter? Even though it's the same song every week, I'm still frightened and captivated. Let's go back in time. Batista is certain that Dexter is the Bay Harbor Butcher, as is his murder board. He is observing Dex's every action, assembling his routine, and anticipating the unavoidable lapse. And he understands it, oh my, does he understand it, but naturally in the most Batista manner. What happens when he breaks in after following the tracker and spotting the murder room? Complete chaos. What the fuck? Batista mutters as he stands in a plastic-wrapped wig shop after Vinny, screaming, storms out of the kill chamber where it occurs and straight into him. Dexter disappears into the night. The same thing, Angel. Likewise. However, Dexter wasn't initially after Vinny. That table should have contained Al. Dexter had him prepared and in line. However, Dexter wasn't initially after Vinny. That table should have contained Al. Al wriggled out of the Hamilton night abduction with strange ease after Dexter had him lined up and prepared. Paramount Plus with screenshot/Showtime. It's more than just bad luck. Al has been acting like a lovable idiot, but I'm willing to wager that he is just as cunning as Dexter, but in a different way, which makes him dangerous. There's a reason he's the last surviving killer. Therefore, Dexter let his desire to kill to triumph over common reason rather than remaining fixated on Al. He turned to Vinny, in part to appease the monster within of him and in part as a clumsy attempt to assist Harrison. He almost lost everything because of that turnabout. It's not his code that's taking over, but his compulsion. Later, Dexter had the gall to claim, I wasn't going to kill him, when seated across from Harrison. I'm sorry. Vinny was fastened to the table already. I certainly don't believe that lie, but Dexter could. The scariest thing is when even Dexter begins to accept his own justifications. Paramount Plus with screenshot/Showtime. In addition, his personal life is collapsing during all of that. Perhaps the biggest warning sign of the season thus far is Blessing's rage at Dexter for telling Joy about his history. Dexter continues to believe he can experiment with casual interactions, but each time he tries, his mask breaks. Joy is appalled, Blessing feels deceived, and Dexter is unaware of that in the future, these minor implosions could have disastrous consequences. Jack Ory's Days of Our Lives pulls a fast one just as I'm about to despise EJ. 20 years after watching the Supernatural pilot, I have some thoughts. But let's get back to the mess in the death room. The choice to keep Vinny ungagged. A choice what? We're supposed to believe that Dexter would just let Vinny scream his head off, even though he has always been careful to silence his targets. That's not a Dexter move, it's a rookie error. The city is a plot hole. However, it did prepare the way for Batista's stunning arrival. It was the first time all season that I had any hope that Batista would catch him. However, no. As always, Dexter is slick. Claudette and Oliva stare at Batista as if he's gone insane, the AirPod tracker is destroyed, and Batista is dismissed as being overly enthusiastic. I should be relieved, but I'm not because Batista's actions are clearly visible. Refuses to quit. He's become more determined than ever, and I'm genuinely afraid for Dexter. Then there is Prater, who enters Dexter and Harrison's supper with a nonchalant air of ownership. I had no idea you had a son, Red. Oh my God. I felt sick to my stomach. Harrison is certainly nimble. He handled Batista's interrogation well and didn't reveal anything, but the more people who are aware of him, the higher the danger. Furthermore, Prater doesn't seem like someone you can win over with charm. That last scene, with Harrison curiously observing Dexter with his bloody steak and Prater stalking, was a masterwork of fear. What does this leave us with, then? Never before have the stakes been so high. I have never seen Dexter that sloppy. Harrison is developing deeper relationships, with Gigi and Elsa, that have the potential to explode once Dexter's truth comes to light. Even though Claudette and Oliva are dismissing Batista at this point, we all know that it only takes a single piece of evidence to bring down the House of Cards. Here is what I think, and it's only a theory. Batista isn't being brought back by the writers merely to make him appear stupid. The ticking time bomb is him. Either Dexter silences him before he can defeat him, or he is vindicated and defeats Dexter. And even though I'd rather not think about it, the thought of Dexter murdering Batista is a nightmare I can't get rid of. In summary, this episode was extremely stressful. The show is playing a risky game with our nerves, and the squeeze is on. Although Batista may appear insane to others, he is more accurate than ever. Dexter is falling apart. Harrison is attempting to act as a conscience, but that function may fail if Dexter continues to alienate people. What about Gigi? I can't stop staring at her, she is the wild card. I'm not sure how much longer Dexter can continue to dance on the brink of this before everything falls apart. However, how about you? At last, are you breathing? Did you also yell at the TV? Like me, were you taken aback by Vinny's head turning in his gag-free mouth? What's going on? You have to ask yourself, how far would you go if pushed to the brink? While you watch Dexter implode. Manipulation and survival are th.